parampara. You break the disciplic succession. You break the understanding. And in the case of Srimad Bhagavatam, if you don't study it from the point of view of that it's an ontological education, it's ontological work, you won't get it. It'll go like right over your head. You will not get the actual meaning of Srimad Bhagavatam. And so, in my entire career in different devotional organizations, I never ever heard anybody describe Srimad Bhagavatam as ontological education or ontological anything. Yet, when I went back and read Srila Prabhupada's original description of Srimad Bhagavatam, I went, yes. And then I proceeded to do a whole study of ontology and how ontology is expressed in Srimad Bhagavatam. And this opened up a whole world of understanding that was sealed without that knowledge. So just see, when the when the parampara remains intact, it's possible to understand everything very clearly. And it's very rich and valuable and powerful knowledge. But when the parampara becomes broken, because people think that they know better than the guru, that they can change the guru's words, they can edit the guru's books, they can change his instructions and manage things in a different way, everything becomes broken. Everything actually becomes useless. So this is our experience, that these people who think they know better than the Acharya and they go and changing his words and change the meaning of the books that he writes, actually they lose everything. They lose everything because their attitude is wrong. It's not surrendered. It's not just pass on the actual understanding of the scriptures. And therefore, they cannot actually represent the Acharya and they fall down. So, microphone keeps getting in trouble here. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu recommended that one learn Srimad Bhagavatam from the mouth of the self-realized person called Bhagavatam. Bhagavata means in relationship with the personality of Godhead, Bhagavan. So the devotee is sometimes called Bhagavatam. And the book which is in relation with devotional service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead is also called Bhagavatam. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu recommended that in order to relish the real taste of Srimad Bhagavatam, one should take instruction from the person Bhagavatam. Srimad Bhagavatam is relishable even by a liberated person. Shukadev Goswami admitted that although he was liberated from within the very womb of his mother, it was only after relishing Srimad Bhagavatam that he became a great devotee. Thus, one who is desirous of advancing in Krishna consciousness should relish the purport of Srimad Bhagavatam through the discussions of authorized devotees. So this is the process. You have to hear Srimad Bhagavatam from a self-realized soul. Some rascals are saying this means that the self-realized soul has to be physically present. And that therefore Srila Prabhupada's books, because Srila Prabhupada is not physically present, his books cannot actually awaken this pure devotional service. But this is wrong. How many times does it state in the Shastra that the transcendental sound vibration of the Vedas is eternally potent? That the instructions of the self-realized soul are always efficacious. They're always powerful. Srila Prabhupada himself initiated so many devotees that he had never even met face to face. And he did that through transcendental sound vibration. So the transcendental sound vibration is eternal. Otherwise it wouldn't be transcendental. You see? That sound vibration is not limited by space or time. That sound vibration can be passed down through any medium, a book, a tape, a video, or whatever. And it still has the same potency as when it is spoken in person. Of course, maybe for some people who have a material consciousness, they think they have to be in the physical presence of the guru to get the message. But we know from our personal experience that this is not so. Actually, in many ways, it's better to be separate from the guru in the beginning, because then you can follow the instructions and experiment, and even if you make some mistake, it's not such a big deal. But if you make offense to the spiritual master, it's a very serious matter. So in the beginning especially, it's better to be a little separate, better to have a little formal relationship than be too intimate or too familiar with the spiritual master and make some mistake and fall down. So transcendental sound vibration is always good. These books by Srila Prabhupada are always going to be potent. As long as they exist on this planet, they're going to be making devotees. There are so many stories about Prabhupada's books and how they showed up in people's lives just at the right time and made a big difference in their life. In Srimad Bhagavatam, 2nd canto, 1st chapter, verse 9, Shukadev Goswami admits that although he was very much attracted by the impersonal Brahman, when he heard the transcendental pastimes of the Supreme Personality of Godhead from the mouth of his father, Vyasadeva, he became more attracted to Srimad Bhagavatam. The idea is that Vyasadeva was also a self-realized soul, and his mature contribution of transcendental knowledge was delivered directly to Shukadev Goswami in the manner indicated. So, are there any questions? You had a question.
From this evening?
Yeah, this evening. You had some question about prayers by the personified Vedas.
Yeah, so in that chapter, it begins with Parikshit Maharaj asking Shukadev Goswami this question, that if the absolute truth is transcendental, then how can some material vibration and the use of the mind and intelligence, which are also material, be used to approach transcendence? And then Prabhupada says that this question is basically about whether the absolute truth is personal or impersonal.
Right.
And I wasn't very sure of how the connection was made.
Oh boy. Well, he's asking for on behalf of the rascals. You see, the rascals, they see this material world with their senses, and they say that nothing else exists except this material world, because that's all we can see. We don't see anything else. We don't see any God. We don't see any soul. We don't see any spiritual world. What are you talking about? All that exists is this material world. Like in Bhagavad-gītā, the demons say that this material world is everything, and its only purpose is sense gratification. They think like that. So they think that the mind, the intelligence, and words, and everything like this are all material. Maybe they are in their case. But in the case of a devotee, because a devotee's words, mind, intelligence, and actions and so on are engaged in the service of the Lord, they become transcendentalized. Just like prasadam. Prasadam starts out as ordinary food. But then because it's brought into the proper relationship with this personality of Godhead, it becomes spiritualized. And it can actually release us from so many sins, purify us. So the words in the Vedas and other works of the same type are not material at all. They're transcendental. This is discussed very deeply in Vedanta Sutra. Because the rascals, they say that the supreme absolute truth cannot be described in words. But actually it can. If it couldn't be described in words, then why would Krishna speak Bhagavad-gītā? Why would Krishna give all the Vedas and all the Upanishads and so many literatures like that? If the absolute truth can't be described in words, what's the use of any of this stuff? Huh? So maybe it can't be fully described in words, but at least it can be described to some extent or pointed out. Huh? If somebody says, oh, how do I get to Pukan? And I say, well, go out the front door, turn left, go out the driveway, through the gate, and then turn left again and go down the hill until you get to the center of town. There you'll be in Pukan. Right? Now that doesn't describe every detail of the whole route and, all the things that might happen on the way or, or things that you would,